Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Dr. Raj DasGupta. He's the CEO of Electrovaya. It's a publicly traded company, ELVA on NASDAQ, and Electrovaya will be presenting at our upcoming in-person investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver, happening September 6th and 7th, 2023 at the Fairmont Waterfront, Vancouver. For more information to see Dr. DasGupta's presentation, to potentially meet with them in person, please go to planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Raj, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Oh, great, Robert. Great to be here, and nice to talk to you after last May. So
absolutely,
it's been a few months.
Absolutely, yeah. I figure we have a lot to talk about. Just first off the bat, you were an OTC QB company last time I talked to you. Now you're on NASDAQ and the whole thing. So, but before we get into all the updates, everything like that, for those that didn't see that first interview or haven't heard of Electrovaya before, can you give us that quick overview of the company?
Yeah, so Electrovaya is a lithium-ion battery manufacturing company as well as technology company, and we have a unique approach to lithium-ion batteries. We're making the heaviest duty, longest cycle life, highest safety lithium-ion battery product, which is, and we're not targeting your passenger EVs with this technology. We're targeting the heavy duty space. So that's like material handling, robotics, trucks, buses, anything that's either has a large number of cycles that's being used or high power usage. Or the applications which are extra sensitive to safety. That's what we're after. That's where we're seeing tremendous growth. And I'm pleased to say that the company has been tracking and hitting the milestones that we set out over a year ago. So last time as you mentioned, last time we spoke, we were an OTC QB company. Now we're on NASDAQ. We just had our fiscal Q3 results posted on Monday. I'm pleased to say that was a consecutive net profit. Not many battery companies make profits, so we're in a good space right now, and we're pleased to see our performance, and we're looking forward to what we can do next.
Very good. All right. Well, I mean, you hit on a little bit of my next question there, because like I said, I want to point everybody to go check out the interview that we did together on our due diligence series, one of our podcasts here at Planet MicroCap. We published that on May 19th, 2023. So you alluded to recent announcement, your quarterlies that you put out there, and that, profitable, battery manufacturer, like what? So I'd love to understand, what about how the company operates that you have differentiated yourself from your competitors, where you've been able to kind of run at a profit here?
Yeah, so fundamentally, it comes down to technology. So we're offering customers a fundamentally different lithium-ion battery technology. So we're the commercial brand name for it is the Infinity battery, but ultimately what this is it's a lithium-ion ceramic cell, and the ceramic is a key component there. So Electrovaya has a lot of IP around ceramic separators. We're probably the only company that uses this type of technology, and what that does is it makes our cells much safer, right? So ceramics are stable at high temperatures. This provides a significant benefit over what the standard lithium-ion cells, which are polymer based. So safety is a big piece of it, but then also on cycle life, we have both internal and third-party data showing that our cycle life is a 4x over our competition. Now, what does cycle life mean? That's the number of charge discharges you can do on the battery before it reaches its end of life. And if you were to put one of our batteries in your, a standard 250-mile range passenger car, you would see 3.5 million miles before that battery reaches end of life. So you don't need that in a car, but you need that performance in other applications. You need that performance in your robots in a warehouse, or your forklifts in a 3-shift operation, or even 2-shift operation. You need that in your electric bus, or in your heavy duty truck or mining vehicle. So there are a lot of applications out there that can utilize this technology. They are utilizing this technology, and they see the benefit, right? So Material handling was the first place we went after, and we're selling a solution which is going to ultimately save companies money. So they're not so, of course, the CapEx is important, but if Electrovaya is more expensive than the standard batteries, that's not a detractor from them picking us. So
Sure.
we have over, I think at least 12 Fortune 100 companies using our batteries in their operations. That's growing. We just added another 2 in the last quarter, and phenomenal growth potential with customers like that. And now we're targeting some new markets like the electric truck and bus and you name it. So Electrovaya is differentiated. We're selling a technology. We're not selling a commodity. A lot of lithium-ion batteries, to some degree, have been commoditized, and we're sort of set apart from that.
Very good. One thing I also wanted to ask you about that I also remembered from our interview that we did back in May was when you talked about the planned manufacturing site in Jamestown, New York. Love to get an update there. How are we doing on the construction? When do you expect it to be ready to go and fully operational?
Yeah, great question. So we did post a brief update a couple of weeks back. So we've bought the building, we bought the site. We're well on our way with the engineering planning, and we're also well underway with the financing. So of course, finance runs the world, and that will ultimately be the trigger when we start placing orders for equipment. And we've signed a term sheet with a government-backed lender, or we've worked our way through all the technical due diligence steps with respect to that. Now we're on the last phases of legal work. So we're hoping to close that very soon. In our press release we said September or October. That's what we're targeting, and that will really be an important milestone for the company. So right now, we have 2 facilities here in Canada, and we're also assembling ourselves overseas and making our separators in Japan. What we'd like to see is that vertical integration taking place in the United States. We'll be able to take advantage of the Inflation Reduction Act. Our market, our customers are primarily in North America. So this is just a no-brainer as long as the funding is there to support the build-out.
Very good. All right. So final question for you here today, Raj, from what you can tell us, what would you say, you've alluded to it a little bit, right? And especially talking about the plan, everything like that. What would you say are some of the company's growth drivers or value catalysts now for the rest of 2023, now going into 2024?
Well, I'm pleased to see progress we've been making on improving gross margins. Our gross margins last year were pretty good still. They were about 25%. Our battery system gross margin is now over 30%, and overall margins are over 28%. So we're definitely making good progress, and we will continue to focus on further increasing that. And that's because we are providing ultimately a technology solution. So that's one key bit. Of course, the Jamestown expansion is going to be very important for let's say when we're targeting energy storage or buses or trucks. That site needs to be there to enable higher capacity. And then another key point that we're confident in hitting is our annual fiscal year guidance of $42 million US, and we're well on track to do that. And it doesn't end there. We will continue growing at very high rates throughout fiscal 24-25. So the company, we're now making modest net profits, and that should continue to. We want to stay like that. It's much harder to operate a company that's burning cash. So I'm pleased to say we've crossed that chasm, and we're making good headway. The other thing is I think the market, especially on, like, for instance, bus, truck, and those high voltage applications, for the most part has been utilizing automotive lithium-ion cells for those applications, and that is not working, right? So if you look at in the news, you'll see pretty much every major OEM who has, let's say, an electric bus or truck, is recalling, in the process of recalling those deliveries because the battery systems are just not keeping up, whether that's a safety or otherwise. And in my view, in my opinion, the battery that goes into a heavy duty application needs to be different than the one that goes into your passenger EV. The duty cycle, the utilization, the entire spec is quite different, and that's what Electrovaya is focused on. We're making a technology which is designed for that type of application, and I think we're going to get starting in more credit for that.
Very cool. All right. Well, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Electrovaya?
Of course, our website, www.electrovaya.com, and there are a few analysts covering us, so they have some decent research reports. I think Craig Hallam and H.C. Wainwright are two that I know of, and there's a couple others. So.
Very cool. All right. Well, Raj, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you in Vancouver.
Thanks so much. Good to see you again, Robert.
Thank you, too.